Hello everybody, this is Goofsome Fox coming at you with two 500 cost rated matches here in the NT-X. These are both going to be on Impact site. The only difference between these two matches is really going to be that I'm going to be on different sides of the map for each round here. But yeah, the NT-X here is one of the newer mobile suits that have been added to GBO2. I did get mine from one of the free pools during Silver Week. I got on one of my Saturday streams too, and I think I may have tested it out a bit there. Maybe in duel matches I may have tried to use it a bit, but the NT-X here has been a really fun mobile suit to use, and it has been one that I've been hearing a lot of good, even prior to me getting it, I was hearing plenty of good things about it. And yeah, I'd say it's pretty much to the suit's credit here, because the NT-X has a lot of good stuff going for it. As I mentioned, this is a 500 cost round here, so the NT-X is a 500 cost support unit, and gonna go over just the basic loadout and things that I typically do for these styles of videos here. So the first thing I want to talk about is the NT-X machine gun. That's going to be your primary weapon, and this is a really nice machine gun. What it lacks in stagger accumulation, it does more than make up for in its damage potential. Yeah, you can really chip away at a general's health with this mobile suit. Really a few suits, I feel like, even when it comes to other supports, and maybe a few raids as well. I feel like if something has low ballistic defense, then this machine gun is going to be a really good option for just chipping away at them. But again, you don't have good stagger accumulation with it, so that is something to keep in mind here. Your next weapon is going to be the NT-X Beam Saber. That is your main melee weapon. Nothing really too special to say about it, aside from I like the melee pattern. It has just one of those, I think it has a poke downswing for it, so really like it when supports get that style of downswing. At least I do believe it is a poke from what I remember. But yeah, I really do like the melee pattern, but again, really just a standard melee weapon. Nothing too special I feel like to say about it. First, for your secondary weapons, you do have the NT-X head-mounted Vulcan. Now these do have some decent stun accumulation. This is going to be more of what you want to use to get a stun compared to the machine gun. And I can say the same thing too for the next weapon, the arm-mounted beam launcher. This is another weapon that's really good for getting stuns. Either if you use it uncharged or charged, because if you do a charge shot, it will count as a instant stun. But you can also just use the burst fire and also get a stun that way. So that's kind of like the thing with the machine gun, is that you really have a lot of weapons that make up for that, again, the weakness of the stagger accumulation. But the arm beam gun here isn't your only instant stun, because you do also have the wired Saikumu bit ×2 discharge. This isn't the instant stun weapon, this is going to be a different weapon. That's going to be your lock-on Saikumo bits there, and these operate pretty similarly to the lobster funnels. I don't know what they're actually called on the FF Sotheby, so I'm just going to refer to them as the lobster funnels. It kind of operates like the charge one that one has, only this one fires two of them, and there's actually a delay between when both fire, which I think is a really nice touch for the NT-X here. I really do like that feature that it fires one and then the other one follows after it. Yeah, I really think that's a nice way to maybe try to catch people off guard. They think they're safe when they dodge the first one, but you have a second one right around the corner that's trying to lock onto them. So, really like the functionality here. And then now we're going to get to the instant stun of this mobile suit, that being the wired Saikumo bit ×2. And the way this one functions is that it's kind of like the high news funnels that you can give to other players. Only this one, it only applies to you. And again, these do count as a instant stun, and they also do a lot of damage. So similar to the high new Gundam, it's based around you firing your other weapons. Kind of like what I'm doing right now, actually. So as I'm firing the machine gun, the Saikumo bits here, they are going to fire alongside with me. And this applies to any weapon that you are firing, even if you're using the beam saber and you're going for a melee swing. Yeah, it will also fire the Saikumo bits as well. So, really the only thing that you can't use is going to be the lock-on Saikumo bits, because obviously you are already using them to add on to your damage. So that's the only weapon you can't use while using that. Same if you do it vice versa, but Every other weapon, yeah, you can use alongside with this here. And again, it's an instant stun, so that's probably going to be one of your primary means to get an instant stun outside of using the charge for the arm beam gun. And then you also have the NT-X shield. You do have a shield with this mobile suit, which is always, good for extra defense. I'm really not too certain how effective this shield is, because I feel like I've never really had mine get broken. If it has, I just didn't realize it. Usually when it comes to the shields, sometimes I recognize them and sometimes I don't. And I know this doesn't have the shield break stance mastery as well like the raids get, so yeah, if that shield does get destroyed, you are going to, get stunned from it. But again, really haven't noticed it too much. It could be like the Garibaldi Beta shield for me, where I really don't recognize that shield too much. But again, it is still a nice option to have if you need a little extra defense, which is always nice, especially for a support unit as well. Especially with the NT-X here, because really this suit doesn't play like a traditional support, where you're going to be like at long ranges. Its playstyle almost reminds me a bit more of the Advanced Hazel, where you're kind of going to be a bit more of a mid-range support unit. You really want to be a bit closer to your team so you can get the lock-ons with the incom bits, or not the Saikumo wired bits. Also as well to use the Instant Stun version as well. You do want to be kind of in the field here in order to make the most use of that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, everything else about this is really good. You also have a few really good skills as well. You do have anti-stealth level 1, which is very handy in this match here because the enemy team is using a Ifrit Jaeger. And I think that suit is supposed to have stealth. I know it has the jamming skill, but I don't actually remember if it has actual stealth or not, but I think it might because really I think I've been able to spot it in this match here when normally I feel like I wouldn't be able to. So yeah, that's been, that's a really nice thing to have. They've really been giving a lot of supports anti-stealth, I feel like, really just in general for a lot of recent supports. It just seems to be a skill that they have been giving supports recently, and I really do appreciate it because you do need some supports that are able to see those pesky pixies trying to sneak up on you. So again, really do appreciate it, especially with the NT-X here being more mid-range. I think it does make a bit more sense to have it. Other than that, you do have Saikumo Weapon Buffer level 3 for those back bits there because, well, those Saikumo bits are ginormous. So yeah, definitely want a little extra defense there, but other than that, the other skills that you do have with the suit, again, they're just really good set of skills, and same with the loadout as well. And before I continue on here about the NT-X, gonna look at the stats for this first match here. That's gonna be a mission complete, and let's see what the score is. So did get top in individual and top in damage for this match here. Second place with 8 kills and 1 loss. First place in damage. Not too bad for the first match there, and that's going to lead soon to the second match right after this bronze crate here. But yep, this match here is going to be on the opposite side of the map, so I believe this is the B side if I'm remembering correctly. But again, yeah, just opposite side of the map here. Another thing I forgot to mention about the lock-on Saikumo bits is that they have some really nice range. Like, I'm on the other side of the map here, and I'm able to get a lock on the enemy team here. Really try to get some damage in, which it looks like I did tag somebody. Didn't do a whole lot of damage with that, but again, still really impressive that this is able to lock on to targets so far away. But the NT-X here, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, just a really, really good support for its cost. I can definitely see when the suit came out why it was getting the praise that it was, because there was just, like, really just how much damage you can do, and I really feel like this isn't the most vulnerable suit either. And hey, there's that pesky pixie I was referencing earlier. I am going to eject my suit here because I think I was getting low on health, and already knew since I used my tackle that that pixie was going to finish me off. But as you can see on my radar, it did look like that they were appearing, so yeah, again, anti-stealth, really, useful to have for, these higher costs here. especially with how prominent the Pixie is as a stealth suit choice. You really see the Pixie in all of its cost running around, so again, just a nifty thing to have. But yeah, you can just do a lot of damage with the NT-X, because the funnels, I keep calling them funnels or incoms, not Saikumo bits. They do just kind of look like giant funnels, but the lock-on Saikumo bits, when I mentioned them acting like the FF Sazabi's charge funnels, yeah, they really are like that, where it does take a moment for them to charge, and then they'll do continuous damage. So I really feel like it's not one of those weapons you want to do what I kind of do in some of these matches here, where I'm just kind of using it, and not really planning out how I'm using it. There's a few times I just kind of fire it, maybe just to put some pressure on an enemy, but the times that I feel like you really want to try to use that is if your teammate is about to down an enemy target. That's like probably the time I would say you really want to try to make use of that there. Another strong thing when it comes to pairing the weapons here is that if you use the head Vulcans with the Saikumo bits that, they stay around you, you can fire the Vulcans while you are boosting, and that's still going to apply to the Saikumo bits there, so you are able to boost and, get a instant stun depending on what suit you are aiming at. So that's just another really good strength you can do with this. Maybe if you need to help a teammate pursue an enemy, and you're gonna be the one who has a instant stun that you can use while boosting. So that's another good thing about it. Already mentioned the machine gun being really good, especially if you pair it. Really, I feel like that's the main thing with the NT-X here. It really is about how you pair a lot of your weapons, because there's just so many different combinations that you can do just with everything you have. So like if you want to use the follow Saikumo bits and then use your beam gun, well, you can absolutely do that, or you can use the Vulcans or the machine gun, or like I said, if you want to use your melee weapon, and maybe try to get a downswing on somebody while firing that, maybe try to set something up for a teammate, you're going to get that extra damage in there as well. So there's really a whole lot you can do in terms of your versatility. And then you also have the charged Saikumo bits as well, which those, as the same case, allow you to use a lot of your weapons. So again, another thing that you can maybe try to set up. And here's a case I mentioned here where you want to wait for a target to be knocked over, because I did get some really good damage on that Pixie there, just getting the lock on there. Admittedly, though, that wasn't really more of a setup that I was kind of planning. Just kind of locked onto the Pixie there, and my teammate did just happen to get the the counter there. I don't think that was necessarily an intentional thing that I was necessarily trying to do, but in the end, it's one of those moments that does just kind of work out where you're going to get that extra damage. You're really going to see the damage, come into play there. But yeah, that's really, I think, the highest thing that I have to say about the NT-X here is just like you just have a lot of very nice versatility and damage potential. Especially, again, just being able to be more of a mid-range support instead of having to stay in the back. I think that's a really strong suit for this. You really want to be, again, just up, not up in the front lines necessarily, but you do want to be, like, behind your teammates and really just, trying to stay close to them and just kind of help out with, like, getting stuns with your weapons, or trying to use the instant stuns with the funnels, maybe doing the lock-on to pressure the enemy team. Because I've seen it too, where on certain maps, I think it was City Ruins, where somebody was able to use the lock-on funnels in between the buildings, and it did a really good amount of, good ton of damage to, most of the enemy team. So, there are definitely scenarios where you can make the weapons are already good, but there are situations where you can really make the kit of the suit work for you. And I think that's just really the strength here of the NT-X. Really strong support. It just, if you have it, I do recommend using it. It's just, I feel like this is going to be kind of is already. I feel like, because I've seen plenty of them, I feel like this thing has kind of cemented itself as a meta 500 support. Understandably so. But yeah, necessarily, And I think it's another case, too, of a suit that I feel like isn't necessarily overpowered. Because the NT-X, it is still easy to deal with if you're on the opposing side of it. Because I think, like, times where I'm caught by myself, or as you saw at the beginning of the second match here, where there was the enemy Pixie that was able to get close to me, yeah, you are still able to deal with the NT-X. It's not like an unstoppable force. So I'd say, like, for a meta suit here, it is still pretty balanced. It's just, like, it's good for everything that it comes with, and it's still manageable. So that's kind of, I feel like the suit does kind of have the, as far as I've seen, the best, one of the best balances I've seen for a meta suit. And here is the Pixie coming after me again. I'm trying to boost back here. Unfortunately, it didn't look like I got the counter animation there, but yeah. The match here, this second match here, is going to be ending soon. I think I said everything that I really need to about the NT-X that, you know, hasn't already been said about it already. Just a really good support. Looks like that is a prototype Stark-Jagan, or the Proto Stark-Jagan. I'm not really sure if I'm going to last too much longer here, so I'm going to eject from my suit here. I do think I end up boarding the little craft here, the Wappa, for the last few seconds of this match here. Don't think I really do anything too major in it, because yeah, most of the enemy team is still at full health, so I doubt I'm gonna, you know, get any like last minute Wappa kills or anything, but yeah, that's gonna be the end of this second match here, and let's see how we did with the NT-X here. And a mission completed with some good works in the chat there, and did get, again, similar to the last one, top in individual and top in damage. Gonna send a couple praises around, it seems. And yep, gonna send one to the Blossom as well, but second place with 9 kills and 4 loss. Third place in damage this time. Again, not really too bad for the NT-X here. So, yeah, that's gonna be the end of the 2 matches that I have here. Really, in summary, really good kit for a really good support for 500. Really would like to see a level 2 of this. It's cases like these that just make me wish that GBO2 would go back to releasing level 2s alongside the level 1s. Because I do want to use these kind of suits at like more cost instead of just their native one. Really try to see how they would hold up in like different scenarios where, you know, like 500 and 550. The mobile suit selection is very different between those two costs, so hopefully soon we'll get a 550 NT-X so we can kind of see how well it will hold up. Really hoping for a 650 cost Young Wyvern as well. Not sure when we'll get that, but yeah, that's going to be the end of this video here. Comment down below what you think about the NT-X. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.